Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. January 28, 1896 started as an ordinary day for the police constable responsible for patrolling Paddock Wood, Kent, around 40 miles southeast of London. Little did he know, however, that this seemingly routine day would witness the birth of an event with national and international significance: the issuance of the first speeding ticket in history. The unsuspecting police officer, pushing his bicycle through the quiet streets, had his peace shattered by a reckless motorist named Walter Arnold, who was about to make history by breaking the speed limit with his brand new quote-unquote horseless carriage. Walter Arnold, a motorist and car dealer, catapulted himself into the record books as he raced past the police officer at a terrifying 8 miles an hour in a 2-mile-an-hour zone, or roughly 13 kilometers an hour in a 3-kilometer zone. In today's video, we'll delve into the details of this landmark event, exploring the circumstances leading to Arnold's historic speeding ticket, the interesting legal proceedings that followed, and the broader implications for the evolving world of automobiles and traffic regulations. On that fateful day in 1896, Arnold, a notable car dealer and supplier of Benz vehicles, was driving about with his new motor carriage. Being on the forefront of innovation, cars at the time were a mysterious object and the laws were lacking for these new impressive machines. At the time, cars were strictly forbidden to go more than 2 miles an hour or 3 kilometers an hour, and most importantly, had to follow a man on foot waving a red flag to warn pedestrians ahead. Now you can only imagine the shock that the police constable felt when he was proceeding in an orderly fashion through the village, and belting past him was Arnold at a scary 8 miles per hour in what must have seemed at the time like an alien spaceship. Little did they know, however, their encounter would forever etch them into history and spearhead a flurry of legal activity. Not only was Arnold clearly breaking the speed limit for one of these infernal machines, but also, even more damningly, he had no man with a red flag preceding him as the law required. Therefore, the police officer on the beat set off in hot pursuit on his regulation-issue bicycle, finally catching up to this deranged road racer after 5 miles and a 37-minute chase. What ensued was likely a comical scene as the constable, grasping his breath, confronted Arnold about his reckless behavior. As a result, there were 4 summons against the defendant. The charges reflected the legal and philosophical complexities surrounding these horseless carriages at the time, namely that the vehicle was not worked according to the Locomotives Act, which required that at least 3 people should be employed to drive it, and that one shall precede it when in motion, as well as that the name and residence of the owner be affixed onto the carriage. Lastly, and most importantly, that the vehicle would not travel any faster than 2 miles an hour or approximately 3.2 kilometers an hour. Through his lawyer, Arnold pleaded not guilty, claiming that the Locomotives Act were written without motor vehicles in mind, and so did not cover such vehicles. Nevertheless, the court convicted him and ordered him to pay various fines and court fees. In a historic verdict, Arnold was fined 5 shillings for the first count and 1 shilling for each of the remaining counts, with additional cost imposed. Astonishingly, the speeding offense cost him a mere shilling. The case of Walter Arnold and the first speeding ticket in history had far-reaching consequences on legislation. The requirement for a man with a red flag preceding vehicles was soon eliminated, signaling the end of an era and leaving labor exchange staff wondering about the relevance of this now obsolete skill. On top of this, the need for a minimum of 3 persons to control these fearsome machines also faded away, ushering in a new era of automobile regulation. It's not clear whether Arnold deliberately set out to get caught violating the Locomotives Act, but either way, it could reasonably be regarded as a test case, as part of a broader push to reform and loosen the existing regulations on motor vehicles. which would of course have indirect effect on the expanding market of Arnold's products. Perhaps the greatest accomplishment coming from this situation later in 1896 was that the UK Parliament duly increased the speed limit to 14 miles per hour, or roughly 22.5 kilometers per hour. The first speeding ticket issued to Walter Arnold in 1896 marked a pivotal moment in the history of traffic regulation. This seemingly mundane event set in motion a series of changes that transformed the way we regulate and perceive automobiles on the road. From the outdated requirements of a man with a red flag to the sophisticated speed limits and electronic enforcement mechanisms of today, the journey has been both fascinating and crucial for ensuring road safety. Walter Arnold, the unwitting trailblazer, left an indelible mark on the history of transportation, and his legacy lives on in the ever-changing landscape of traffic regulations. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing, and hopefully we will see you in the next one.